You are listening to another AlwaysMoto production. The AlwaysMoto podcast with your host, David Hogan. We talk moto events from around the world. All the injuries, all the training ins and outs, the bikes, parts and gear inspections. The results, we interview your favourite riders. It's the AlwaysMoto podcast. We occasionally have some coarse language and the odd stuff up along the way. If you don't like it or you don't agree with us, turn it off right now.
I'd like to remind you that he is not a doctor.
That's right, Moto fans. It's the AlwaysMoto podcast. We are at round 5. That's right, round 5 of the AMA, or the Pro Motocross Championship by AMA Pro Racing. It's the sanctioning body there. We are at press day. It is a madhouse at the moment with all the people here in RedBud gear, screaming RedBud. Aaron Plessinger over there doing his RedBud, best RedBud for the TV coverage. He's done it 3 or 4 times. It's getting loud. But we are looking forward to an awesome weekend of racing here. We've had a chat to a few riders here in the media corral that they do before they go out on track. We'll do a little two-parter here to warm into this these interviews that we've just done here. We'll give you a bit of an idea of how the boys and look out on track shortly. But everybody's looking awesome. They've all got different kits going ahead for their RedBud, themed Independence Day colours, all red, white and blue everywhere. The bikes are all different. If you check out our socials, we'll have some of those pictures up here shortly of all the different bike kits. Lots of different kits going on. Everyone's got something new and outrageous, which is awesome. But a lot of energy in the media corral. A lot of people looking to get some good results. Obviously, rough weekends for a few people in Southwick. Southwick, you either love it or you hate it, or you get a bad start and it's hard to work through, and your body cops are beating in that sand and those brutal rollers that develop across the weekend. So a lot of people are obviously, one, they like RedBud as a track, but looking to bounce back and use that energy that's around from all the fans to boost the results. So looking forward to it. A couple of notes from walking around the pits so far. At Quadlock Honda, Carson Mumford's bike's been there under the pits. Obviously that's the team that he's riding for. Last week, no, he wasn't there. He was meant to be talking to the team. He was meant to be here this weekend, but there's been an issue this week. I believe a little crash that he's had and just delayed him at least a week. They said that he should be back next week, but we'll see how that goes. Hopefully he's back here soon. He's been MIA for a little while now, partway through Supercross. He didn't return with an injury. Hopefully he can get back here shortly. Checked out with Jace Kessler at the Dirt Bike Depot team as well. We talked to him last week on the podcast after the race about his collarbone. We checked in with him. Actually gave him some exercises to do to help some nerve issue that he was having post-surgery. Now, remember, he's only now a week and a couple of days post-surgery. He rode 2 days after surgery from that collarbone repair, and he is back. He did those exercises. It seems to have helped him a lot. Just moving out of the way. I'm about to get run over by a 4-wheel quad thing here. But yeah, Jace is doing a lot better. He said the exercises have helped him. The nerve pain that he's been having seems to have improved a lot. So he's hoping he'll have a lot more strength this week, be able to do a bit better result. He's obviously looking for some points here to get himself up towards the pointy end of that SMX point leaderboard. So that's interesting to see. Obviously, we talked to Gage Linville a little bit here. He was just disappointed from last week with the bike issues he's had. He's hoping things are all good, but he did have, unfortunately, another bike issue during the week that he's now down to his last motor for this week. So hopefully they can hold together and be A-OK. Outside of that, everyone's looking pretty fit and healthy still. We're at the midpoint of the season in this Pro Motocross Championship, but there's plenty more to come. So let's take a quick break here. I'm going to head to the track, get some photos, and I'll come back and do another little recap before we hit to these interviews. All right, David Hogan back for AlwaysMoto podcast from RedBud. We're back after the track time here at press day. Just going to give you a little insight in some of the things that happened here on track whilst they were out there. We had a few different riders out. They don't obviously get all the riders on press day. It's a bit of a rotating system. A couple of teams one week, couple of different teams the following week, and so on and so forth. This week we had a lot of the Honda teams out. We had HRC, we had Quadlock, we had Tylube, we had Phoenix Racing Honda, We also had the KTM team and the Rockstar Husky, Rockstar Gas guys out on track, as well as a few local and smattering of random privateers out on track as well. Now, a couple of things to note. One, Justin Barcia loves press days. He's given it. It's given it plenty out on track when he is there, ripping the turns, throwing down some nasty whips. Justin Barcia loving it out on track. From the HRC Honda side of things, the Lawrence boys, they were playing musical chairs. We had Jet on Hunter's bike, Hunter on Jet's bike, back and forth, I think twice, if I caught it correctly, throughout that session. They were obviously trialing two different settings in the bikes, and given the fact that they are able to ride each other's bikes and give really good feedback on each other's bikes and progress each other together, work in a true team format, not just because they're brothers, but just work as a team out there. They were able to then obviously trial some settings. Now, no idea what it was that they were trying, but they had two different settings obviously, and were testing it out. So that was interesting to see. We had Chase Sexton out on track. Now, Chase looked like Chase. No sign of any issues for Chase as he was going around track. Looked like he should. Aggressive on the pegs, giving it plenty. Whether his fitness is up to scratch after a few weeks off, was it just a mental reset that he needed? Not 100% sure there, but Chase looked pretty good. We had the Dirt Bike Depot boys out there as well on the KTMs, on Gage Linville and Jace Kessler. You'll hear both. You'll hear Gage later in this podcast with an interview from the press interview side of things. They were looking pretty good. Unfortunately, Jace on the opening lap coming around passed back onto the start straight. Jace went down there, but was up and going. No harm, no foul. Nothing, no concerns there with that collarbone of his. Now, from the track side of things, they don't do the full track when they do press day. They do a bit of a cut-off. But in terms of track changes this year, the start's in a different position from what I remember. I was here 2 years ago. It's in a completely different position. So they're going to have more of that MX GP style start straight into a right-hand U-turn first corner, then down another straight, then a left-hand U-turn corner, which is basically the normal sort of section that they do. It's just how they get to that second straight from the start straight is always a different angle. So they've changed that up again. Just one of those little tweaks that they do. I didn't get over to the backside to the leap side, so I haven't actually checked out that section. So you'll have to find that on some other footage going around the traps. But we'll have plenty of some social videos up here shortly from press day riding. We'll also have, like I said, that switcheroo musical chairs going on from HRC Honda. But check out these interviews. We talked to a few different people. We've got RJ Hampshire. We've got... Jeez, I can't even remember who we started with. We've got Antonio Cairoli, 9-time world champion on the Ducati. Actually, that's one. Ducati, he was out there. I wouldn't say he was pushing hard. He was riding that bike around pretty smoothly, just testing it out, feeling it out. He tells me that that's a stock bike in terms of stock motor, stock suspension, just with springs for his weight. So that's an interesting, and so some clicker changes. I don't know how much I believe on the internals of that suspension, but that's what he's telling us. So interesting to see how that goes. The bike sounded different to everything else. A little deeper, a little quieter, but he, like I said, in the sections that I saw him, I wouldn't say he was 110% on pace, but he was definitely out there circulating. Bike looked good, very clean red Ducati in terms of nothing, no overpowering sponsor logos or anything, just a clean stock looking bike, which was awesome to see. So he was out there as well, but we had him on the interviews as well. Like I said, we've got a bunch here. Joey Savatgy was not kind enough to make some time for us. Checked in with him. Obviously, Hunter Lawrence also as well. The announcement for the Hunter and Jet coming to AusX Open later this year was announced this week on Sunrise. Talked to him about that announcement and the fact that they're looking forward to coming back to the round and what it meant to him being there last year. Just having a helicopter go over the top, if you can hear that. Trying to find a quiet space in these pits after these sessions is not easy. There's plenty of generators, there's plenty of bikes going past because they're all going to tech for sounds and whatnot. And there's plenty of quad, 4x4 side-by-sides, whatever you want to call them, going around these pits. It's insane. But yeah, Hunter Lawrence talking about that, also about how awkward that interview was with Sunrise and how they don't always get it, but how the fact that they're on those mainstream media means a lot to them and the sport, and obviously for everybody to see it. Yes, we take the piss out of it occasionally in terms of having them, how it went, but look, they were on mainstream. That is a win. So we talked to him as well. But yeah, check out these interviews. There's probably a name or two that I've missed here in all of that madness. That pit scrum, that media scrum is insane. There's people going every which way. So many different outlets. Given it's the 4th of July weekend here, there's a few extra ones for the area. There's also local news here as well. So there's just so much going on. Anyway, let's get to these interviews. I've talked long enough here to cap it off and review what's happened here for Press Day. Racing's coming up next tomorrow. Can't wait for that. We'll give you some post-race interviews. Look, plenty to come here on the AlwaysMoto podcast. Don't forget, this is all across fullnoise.com.au as well. I'm going to link up this on an article here shortly. So if you haven't already, check out some of the images that we're going to put up in that article. Check out everything. There's going to be plenty of content, not just from us and fullnoise.com, but I'm sure all the other media outlets as well. All right, David Hogan signing off for Press Day. We'll talk to you again shortly. All right, we've got Joey Savatgy with us here, Press Day, RedBud. Joey, last week, a bit of a rough go around. You had a bit of a rough start there in Southwick in Moto 1, I think it was. Worked your way through. Did the body pull up all right after that extra effort you had to go through?
Yeah, honestly, I was a bit bummed. Years past, Southwick's kind of been a place that I didn't enjoy going to, but I'll be honest, the results weren't great, but I actually enjoyed it. First moto, unfortunately, I was dead last, and we came back to 13th, which obviously was I felt like was good for me. And then second moto, caught Barsha from a little ways back. Got close to him for 9th, and then I think with 2 to go, we just got into some lap traffic at a bad time, and lapper kind of took the main line, and I went to go cut to try to get up underneath of him while I was eating roost, and I guess watched the front. So it definitely was unfortunate. Results on paper weren't great. But I felt like the riding was better than the results showed.
I was going to say that exact same thing. The riding looked really good from where I was standing taking photos. You were coming through. Obviously, it just didn't come out with the paper side of things for you.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you don't put yourself up front off the start, it's that's kind of how it goes, right? I do believe had I been able to get off the gate, at least inside the top 10, both motos, I think the results could have been quite a bit better than they were, but it's part of the game. I gotta be better. So we made some improvements this week, I feel.
Body good and ready for RedBud, but?
Always. RedBud's a fun one.
You like it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Absolutely. So looking forward to it. Just excited to be here on the 4th of July. As always, it's a unique one, but it's one that's it's always one of the favorites to come to. Just atmosphere alone is something like you don't really experience anywhere else.
We'll keep hiding over in the corner of the media scrum, and hopefully you don't have to do too much work, mate.
So you're blowing me out.
Thanks, Joey. All right, we're with Ryder Di Francesco, head of RedBud. Just quickly touch back on last week. I thought you were riding really well in the practice sessions. It just didn't come out in results-wise for you. Did you think you were going all right at Southwick, or was it all just bad for you?
Yeah, I ended off practice and second through, I think I was 7th, was 0.9, and I was there, and then obviously Deegan is on a level of he's on a different level than a lot of us. So, but yeah, I thought I was really close, and going racing's a whole different thing. And last weekend, every year I'm like, Southwick's, it's a rough one for me, and but I'm stoked to finally turn it around this weekend. This season I feel like hasn't been the best, but coming off an injury and just getting back in it is. It was a goal to turn it around and get a good result by this weekend, so hopefully I can do that.
Well, just touch back onto that too, because my background that I do here is I'm a physio by trade, and I do this as media stuff as a bit of a gig on the side. But your injuries were pretty significant, and you've had to work your way back in. Are we 100% yet?
I thought I was coming in.
It's always that way, isn't it? And then it sort of sneaks up on you.
Yeah, you have confidence, and then you for sure get a reality check, and I honestly didn't think I would be racing out all this year after that, and just to be back as fast as I was, and it surprised me, but I'm just glad to be back racing, and as long as I can build and be back to where I should be at the end of the year, then I'll be stoked.
So thoughts on RedBud specifically? Do you like the track? Do you not like it? Do you just like the vibe that goes on here? How's it for you?
Yeah, my 4 years ago was my first outdoor national, so it always brings good vibes, and I'm stoked to be back. And I feel like these next 4 rounds suit me very well, and hopefully put it up there tomorrow.
Well, sounds good. Hopefully, good weekend ahead.
Yeah, thank you.
Hunter Lawrence, RedBud, mate. First, the announcement for Australian AusX Open, I should say it properly, came through this week. Awesome to have you back in town later this year. Are you looking forward to it?
Absolutely. We had so much fun last year, and it was just probably one of the coolest events we've ever experienced, honestly. And of it, like after winning Motocross of Nations, kind of
timing was perfect, eh?
It couldn't have been better timing, you know. Like obviously after you experience what it was like, we're like, oh fuck, I wish we could have come back earlier. But at the same time, I think the build up and the timing was just so right. And you know, me and Jet won 2 in the SMX World Championship, then winning MXO. Like it was
a pressure build up to that point, and then the fans really responded when you got there, and that ride in that you guys did, the whole crowd stood up on their feet. I was way up in the bleachers watching with the family, and I could feel the vibe up there. You guys must have just had chills.
I still
you can think about it now?
Yeah, I still think about it today and get like tingles down my back. Like honestly, it was probably the coolest thing ever. Honestly, like that was cooler than winning a championship, or even just to celebrate that night and with the Australian people was like our family, you know, like our moto community back home. We consider it like they're part of our family, you know, which is unreal and just so fucking surreal, honestly. It was cool. Unreal. We cannot wait to come back.
Now, I got to touch on that Sunrise interview. The last year when you did it, this year when you did it, I always feel like it's a little bit awkward. The guy, obviously the ones doing the on the TV coverage, maybe don't know all that much about you or motorsport or even Supercross. But it's got to be awkward for you guys to try and get through that.
It's funny. I mean, dude, they cover so many different stories every morning. They're covering thousands of different people and stories.
And in 30 seconds.
For sure, and in 30 seconds. So, like, you know, I don't think I'm anyone to criticise, but it's always funny, and I think it makes it seem worse because of when they ask the question to when on the live stream, the delay.
Yeah.
So that it makes it seem awkward, but, like, trust me, when they ask the question, we're answering it immediately. There's not the delay when we're doing the interview, but it was funny. I laughed when they put the thing up on Facebook, local Supercross brothers and social media sensations. I was like, it's cool, you know. 10 years abroad and we're social media sensations, not champions or anything.
That's what you're recognised for.
That's what we're recognised for, is just social media. So, no, I had a laugh at that. It's funny, and you know, obviously the Aussie crowd back home,
they laugh at it too.
Yeah, you know, they were pretty vocal about their thoughts on it, but no, it's classic, mate. It's funny.
It is nice that we do get into the mainstream, even if it is only a couple of times, because you should probably be in there more often in the Australian side for just your results. Like, you guys have done some significant things, and you only pop up maybe once to twice a year, and I feel like it should be a lot more often. But it's good that you get on there at some point.
Absolutely. Mainstream media, the more we can push that sport into mainstream media, into different corners and parts of the world that aren't necessarily household names or a household known sport, I think the better, mate. So even if they aren't the most knowledgeable interviews or whatever you want to call it, it's still good publicity for the sport, you know, even though we aren't flipping bikes over our heads like they maybe thought.
It's still worthwhile on some level. Now, specifically this weekend, RedBud, how are we feeling? How are we going to get past your brother, mate? You've followed him around a lot lately. How do we get in front of him?
I can get up in front of him off the start. He had 2 good starts on this weekend. Our starts were pretty similar, just his gate pick a little further inside. So as long as I can start next to him and get up there, get around the first turn, either in front or behind, either one, and just a bit better on the sprint in the first 15 minutes, I think we can get it can get interesting a little deeper into the motos.
It's about keeping touch early, right? Like, so that you're not giving him any gap and you're not having to work too hard to get to him or anything like that. You just got to be with him early-ish.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the first kind of plan of attack for this weekend, because there's been guys in the past that have been able to keep, you know, the connection in the first 15-20, but then it bridges out. So that's my first plan, try and either whole shot and build a gap, or, you know, stay relatively close and try to get into the later stages of the moto right there.
Well, look, no matter what, your results have been awesome so far this year. Obviously coming back off the injury, so good luck tomorrow at RedBud. Hopefully enjoy the 4th of July weekend, even though we're Australian, but it's still sort of their thing to get a part of. But yeah, enjoy and good luck.
Absolutely, we will. Thank you.
All right, RJ, Hampshire, press day, RedBud. 450 wise has been going really well so far, but obviously coming off the surgery after Supercross, how's everything going for you? How's the body? How's the wrist?
Man, it's getting better. Each week's gotten better. You set your mind to something. I mean, if you believe it can happen, really. So once they removed half that bone, like I got my motion back, and man, I was just praying it got better. And luckily, the last 3 or 4 weeks that we made pretty big progress each week. So I'm racing without tape, without ibuprofen, anything to kind of manage pain. So it's getting better. Like I got that strength back. Last weekend had 2 pretty solid motos coming through the pack also. So looking forward to RedBud also being one of my favorite tracks. Another good weekend here.
You usually have good results here, so obviously that's got to help things out. But interesting to hear that there's no tape or nothing being run on the wrist. Obviously things are going really well. Have you been doing anything differently in the weeks to assist that, or are you just you finally back to normal training programs now?
I mean, I can actually finish my motos and stuff now.
That's handy.
Yeah. So I can do my routing and stuff. But I do have like therapy machines at home. Like I have a tech car machine. I've got my PINF machine. I have all that stuff that helps out with recovery and swelling and stuff. Good thing though is like I really don't have that much swelling anymore. Where I was battling that for so long. Where each time I'd finish riding, like I had some type of swelling and stuff. So yeah, for the most part, man, like we're getting over that hump.
That's awesome that it's sort of coming in the right direction, and obviously the 450 side of things has been going really well. Are you enjoying the step up finally?
Yeah, man, I needed that in my career. Like, I mean, I'm always motivated to go out there and do the best I can, but just new type of motivation. Like, I'm
giving you a different drive now.
Yeah, man, it's just like you have guys that chase too and climb the ladder again. Where I mean, I've kind of been at that top of the 250 for so long, where it was like, I don't know, I kind of lose a little bit of that fire. Where now I have that during the week. Like, I'm trying to get better, trying to get faster. I know I need speed and get that strength. Yeah, this late in my career, like it's cool to find that again.
I feel like this season's only going to continue to build with you. The further you get away from that surgery point, obviously things are going to get better. Strength, feeling with the bike, speed, and then settings will come along with all that. So I feel like by the time we get to like that SMX point, you could be really dangerous at that point.
Man, I'm hoping I'm kind of dangerous this weekend. So, yeah,
Righto.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm getting to that point where I can, push and kind of do what I want to do. Still, the end of the motos, I'm not there completely, but I can definitely hold the speed longer than what I've showed these, first couple of rounds where I had, 15, 20 minutes, and then I was throwing the anchor, and whoever was behind me was going to pass me. But,
not a good feeling, that one.
Yeah, no. But also, man, I'm on these production air forks now. Like, you can literally buy them from the dang shop down the road. And those help my wrist out a lot. Like, you wouldn't believe kind of how much they helped out.
That's interesting. I noticed that last week when I was walking through the pits at Southwick, I didn't know if it was just a Southwick thing or not, but a lot of the KTM group were on like standard WP fork looking setups, no funny coating colors on the legs or anything. So that just obviously smoothing things out, making it a little bit less harsh or something for you.
It's just so much lighter, man. Like,
lighter.
Yeah. Like, I feel that big time. And I don't even know if I can even talk about it, but it's more selling their product that they sell to the locals. So it's like, man, like, yeah, my forks you can pretty much go buy from the dang local. And I'm getting better with that. Where I even went back this week and tried my spring fork setup that I had at Paula, and yeah, it didn't even compare. So
preferred the other way, and you're going to stick with it, I gather.
Yeah. So now we're just perfecting what I can on this air setup. That's what I'm racing with this weekend. Yeah, man, my settings came a long way for not testing at all before round one. So yeah, we're getting there. Comfort's getting there. Speed's getting there. Yeah, should be a whole package.
Awesome. Well, look, good luck this weekend at RedBud. Hopefully you get another good result and keep building on it, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Gage Linville, RedBud press day. Do you like RedBud? Let's start there.
I love RedBud. Yeah, I raced here as amateur 2 or 3 times, and always liked the track and seem to have good luck here, so hoping it translates into the pro rings.
Now, last week we saw you there, things didn't go to plan. Making your way back this weekend. You haven't done many of the pro motocross at all, really, have you? Like, obviously for the start of the season, this is your really, going to be second time on track?
Yeah, this is my 4th one in going on 2 years. I did 2 my rookie year, and I did High Point this year, and then Southwick, my bike had a malfunction 2 laps in, so I really don't count that one. And yeah, just looking to turn my outdoor, I guess you could say, season around and start putting in some good rides and working my way up there.
Now, you and the Dirt Bike Depot crew, are you going to be going through the rest of these rounds here, or what's the plan?
Yeah, so my plan is to race RedBud, and I will do Ironman and Unadilla. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss Washougal and Buds in Millville. Just some stuff that came up, and I already had another plan to go back to Brazil and race. But yeah, just trying to get as much experience as I can and kind of building the next year.
And get points, obviously, for Super Motocross at the end of the season. That's obviously pretty much everybody's goal these days, but you're working towards that. Whereabouts in the points for you again?
Yeah, so right now I think I'm 39th, but with the riders out, I think it puts me like at 34th or 35th. And the plan is to score some points, from here on out, even if it's a couple a weekend, and hopefully get closer to that 30 mark and, work our way into playoffs and just give myself a chance and build going from there.
All right, well, good luck for this weekend at RedBud. Hopefully some solid points and, moving up that SMX ladder.
Absolutely, thank you.
Right, we're with Antonio Cairoli, 9-time world champion, making a Ducati debut at RedBud. It's got to be feeling good to be here and have the bike out and showing everybody what it's capable of.
Yeah, I mean, we are here. We are really super excited. It's a very young project for this bike, and being able, to race already here also in America, after 1.5 years that the bike is on track, let's say, it's something amazing. So I'm really glad I had the chance to do it. I'm retired since a couple of years, but still enjoying riding. So let's see what we can do.
Now, is this just purely about getting the bike out and demonstrating it and its capabilities? It's not really, you're not chasing a result here as such for yourself, are you?
No, I'm not chasing the result, of course. First because, my speed, is good, but it's not, the top 5, let's say, hopefully.
Are we at that point where we're like, I can do 1 lap, but we can't do 30 laps sort of thing?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, basically the last 2 years I've been doing 1 lap in, 1 lap out, testing.
A lot of testing.
So probably the first 30 minutes moto I did this week one time, first time after, I think, out of it. And then MXGP 2 weeks ago I did 2 times 35 for the race, but out of that only basically testing. So let's see what we can do here.
I gather I'm going to be looking for you for maybe a start here, and then we'll see you drop back through the pack and just get the bike home in one piece. That's probably got to be a big aim here, just to show its reliability in that aspect too.
Yeah. It's mainly showing the bike. We are actually riding a complete stock engine and stock suspension, just with some adjustment, of course, for my weight. But yeah, it's also, this is amazing. It's something you can buy it at the shop mostly and just go racing. That's what I'm racing this week.
Well, I'm excited to see it out on track, and good luck for RedBud.
Thank you.
Joey Crown, RedBud. Mate, saw you out on track last week at Southwick, and I was a little bit shocked to see you at a national again. It's been a long history for yourself with an eye issue, but you're back at the pro level, mate.
Yeah, it's been 5 years since my last pro national, so yeah, it's been a long time, but happy to be back.
How is that? Has it resolved? Did it just get better? Did you get used to it? What's the situation with the eye? How's that all come about now?
Yeah, it has improved a lot. Right after the problem with my eye, I shattered my eye socket and had a couple surgeries to repair it, and after the second surgery I had pretty bad double vision. But through like some eye exercises, it's gotten to a point where like I can drive a car, I can work fine and not have double vision, but when I ride a dirt bike or mountain bike I get double vision from the bumps and looking up like down straightaways and stuff. So last year I found they have a stick-on prism. It's like a sticker. They usually use them for your glasses.
Okay.
And which they did that for me, and I was like, do you guys sell those like as a bigger piece? And they did, so I bought one and tried it last summer, and it worked. So
it made a big difference for you, I gather.
Yeah.
So this goes straight on the goggles?
Yeah, it's just a sticker. It looks like lines on my goggles. Like if you put it on, it would give you double vision.
But it takes it away for you.
Yeah. So tried it last summer and it was working, and it still took a minute to get used to it and stuff, but I did some local racing last fall and then decided to come back here. And
felt good enough that you can go at this level again. That's a really cool story. It's awesome to see you back out on track. Expectations for this weekend then? I think I heard in another media outlet that Southwick was a bit of a tester for you, and RedBud's more where you wanted to be, going full tilt. What are you expecting to do this weekend?
Yeah, Southwick is kind of last minute. I hadn't really been riding a whole lot. I'd signed up for it, but kind of test and see how the bike was and if I still had speed and whatnot, and went pretty solid. So this week I'm definitely ready for her. I'm trying to not have expectations. I don't want to be bummed for anything, so I'm just happy just to be here, but I really would like to score some points, which I think is reasonable. I just gotta try to pace myself and hang on a little bit longer, which this track should be a little bit easier than Southwick was for roughness wise.
Yeah, Southwick you sort of don't really get a chance to build into a moto. It's just all out and rough straight away. So yeah,
especially when you get like a 7th place start too. My first moto.
Yeah, look, that's going to make the heart rate go through the roof pretty quick. So it's not going to leave you much fuel at the end.
Yeah. When you hear Eli behind you, like a fire-breathing dragon that first lap, and the guy, just go ahead, just like go.
That's an awesome quote for later on. I'll use that one somewhere in the line. But yeah, no, that's exactly it. So look, good luck this weekend. Awesome to see you back. I'm glad that the eye situation has got resolved enough that you're almost normal again. So that was probably a bad trot for you, but yeah, well, good to see you out there.
Thank you, I appreciate it.